to yet another episode of Talk the Talk with TSM. Today, I have some very special guests with me, but before we even start anything, I would like for you to kindly subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed, because what are you doing? So today, we're talking about a very interesting topic, but before we even go there, I just want to say I understand how everyone feels during this lockdown. And hopefully we can have a segment where we can, receive emails and stuff from people to just hear how everyone is coping and has been coping with the lockdown. But I just want you to know that you're not alone. We feel you.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've been going to work, but I get it.
Yeah, you've been working because you have to be on TV.
Yeah, so...
Valerie is a TV presenter with Spice TV. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a TV presenter. I make scented candles. I've been doing TV for 4 years now. I usually just work and sleep. So that's pretty much it. Very boring.
Permit me to say that Valerie is also married. Yes. Woo!
I don't really lead with that. So.
I know. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about you, by the way.
Married.
No, not that you're married.
Yeah,
that it's outside of being married, you still have your own identity and you're still your own person.
I think it's very important. Yeah, it's just it's getting married is I see why people change, but it's not supposed to change you that much, and you don't recognize.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We're going to address that today. Okay. On my right, because she's my right hand man.
Just keep moving.
This is my right hand man, my personal person, my jokester, my photographer. She takes some sick angles of me. Anyways, Coco is also, a 2020 woman. She owns multiple businesses. She was on Big Brother Nigeria, and she's a single lady. She doesn't want me to say it, but I'll say it. So we're talking about the 2020 woman, and I feel like this entire pandemic has given every single person, even the craziest people, time to be able to, sit down and just reevaluate their lives. And more, we're seeing more conversations about, is marriage the happily ever after? Is that what I want to do with myself? Do I just want to make something of my career and, down the line have a baby and just keep living my best life? Because that's also an option now, which we were not exposed to growing up, So what are your takes on it as a married woman? Is marriage the happily ever after?
I think it depends on who you marry. Mm-hmm. I would never say that marriage is happy ever after, because even in marriage, you can't be happy if you're not personally happy. So I can never say that marriage is the happily ever after. I mean, it's nice to have someone to share your life with, but on the other hand, you also have someone that is in your life forever.
Period.
And
girl,
that would definitely also come with its own thing. Mm-hmm. I'm all for doing whatever makes you happy. Mm-hmm. If you feel like you want to get married, then get married. If you want to get married when you're 60, you can get married when you're 60.
Agreed.
If you want to be single, if you want to have a kid, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that goes to bed at night with yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's whatever rocks your boat and whatever makes you comfortable that I always say you should. I would never encourage someone to get married. You have to get married. Get married. Please do. Girl. No, yeah. So that's my take on that. Always do what makes you happy.
Right. Coco, do you think that marriage is the happily ever after that every woman should look forward to? The happily ever after. When I say happily ever after, I'm not even talking about marriage-wise. I'm saying for you, between you, yourself, is that the happily ever after?
I just feel like putting marriage and happily ever after in a sentence is actually very wrong to me, because anything can be your happily ever after. I feel like it should be used for children, not even marriage. Kids are your happily ever after, because you live and leave them and they still keep living, right? I'm not married, and let's say 2-3 years ago I would be like, oh, I want to get married to somebody. I don't want to be a baby mama. And mine says like, oh, why would you have a child when he's not going to marry you? But now I am on the opinion of do whatever makes you happy. If I feel like next year I want a child, take off my implant and I'm gonna have a child for who I feel like is gonna be the good father to my child. It's not about we getting married, because at the end of the day we realize that most marriages just crash without anything, and we feel like, oh, that's my role model. Be happy.
Yeah, I also think that people, a lot of times, that whole role model thing, I don't post, like I post about my relationship because there's some days that I just really want to, but if you look at my Instagram, there are probably like 10 posts, and we've been together for like 4 years, and I have like over 600 and something posts on my Instagram. So I hate when you post, it's a perfect picture, doesn't necessarily mean that your relationship is perfect.
People mistake that.
Yeah, so I hate it when people post things and be like, oh, relationship goals, like my partner is very vocal on Instagram about a lot of things, and because he is that vocal, people will think that we have it all figured out. But the truth is, like those things, he probably learned it that morning, and he's now realizing that okay, like I've learned this, like, and that's another whole different conversation, but like trying to learn and always being willing to always being open to learning things is also a whole different thing that you actually have to have during marriage, because shit happens, like man, I don't know.
It's a lot.
What I'd say is, honestly, get married because you feel like you want, like it's something you want.
I agree.
Like, it's something you sleep, you wake,
and
you
I
eat.
think
Marriage.
I think the problem is African mentality. I won't say Nigerian because I've met a couple of Africans too, that their parents actually have the same mindset. You have to marry. My mom keeps telling me, she'll just send me pictures of maybe my childhood friend that have 3 kids, and be like, when are you going to give me my grandkids? Mom, you gotta calm down.
Okay.
First of all, I need to be happy with myself and find happiness. There's no way sadness will meet happiness, and it will yield to happiness. I can't be sad and some guy is happy dating me, and I did not balance the happiness for it to be 50-50.
Right.
It can't work. And the fact that we always make marriage the end conversation for a woman is very wrong. Whatever rock your boat can sink mine.
Yes, I agree, because
I'm on the opinion of if you're happy with anything you're doing.
of course.
Even if you want to tango and entangle, do it if you're happy. Happiness.
Ooh, speaking of entanglements, people, can we talk about, the whole Will and Jada and August situation? Because I feel like, guys, I'm on Jada's side and I'm unapologetic about it.
So
whose side are you on?
My opinion on doing whatever makes you happy transitions throughout everything in life. And I feel like if you're married to somebody like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, how their relationship seems, because I'm not in their house, but their relationship seems like they're not the conventional, typical married couple. Okay. If in their relationship they decide they want to have threesomes, they want to have entanglements, they want to,
it works for them.
If I just feel like that's why it's important to know who you're getting married to, and know the kind of conversations that you can have. Like you have to be honest. That's why I say, like, marriage is there's so many layers to it and it's very deep. But I think that you have to be absolutely certain that of who you're getting married to, and like that you want to get married. It's very annoying that people say, oh, they're popular, they're celebrities, they got married in front of us, it's their business. It's really not your business.
It's really not.
A freaking big one.
I swear.
I honestly feel like that you just want to know. You're not involved.
People are nosy.
And another thing is different for you and your partner to face something, and then you and your partner face something privately, and then you and your partner face something in front of the whole
world.
You know that it's already been said.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
They already tabled out everything. It's cool with them.
Do you get?
You have a problem.
What I've taken from that whole scenario is that Jada Pinkett is a very self-assured woman.
Thank you.
Because she said her own, and that's also another thing. In getting married, you have to be sure that you can stand on your own. Because if you are in a scenario scenario where you can't, you start tolerating things that you generally shouldn't tolerate.
Yeah.
Because you
So
know you're
Will
scared.
Smith is like, okay, yeah, shit, I love you. You got entangled, but cool. Like me, I'm happy on my jacks. I can forgive you and I can move on.
Thank you.
And Jada is like, yeah, I got into entanglements. I'm sorry. Do you still want me? Oh, cool. You want me? Okay, cool. You don't? Cool.
And this
That is how it's supposed to be.
I don't understand.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, so pretty much it used to be.
Did you guys? Everybody saw that meme when it was just like, don't go there next time. Like, there's like an unspoken rule. First of all, I feel like men don't kiss and tell. 60% of men who have a good head on their shoulders, who know just what they're doing, who are like actually matured men, don't kiss and tell. Am I saying that what happened was right? I don't know. Do you know why? Because I cannot judge. Who am I to judge?
I see no reason why I'm talking about Jada and saying what she did is wrong.
Yeah.
When your husband is right there on the same table smiling and says, like, I guess
Yes.
we're stuck together.
I mean, we saw some pain in his eyes, you know.
Yeah, as a man. As a
I don't
man.
even think it's even as a man thing. I think that's another thing. Like I hate the way the whole conversation became like as a man or as a woman, just as a person in general. If it was a woman that was in Will Smith's scenario, to those that have been like, they wouldn't have even had a red table talk.
Period.
That was my issue.
Period.
That was my biggest
Period.
issue.
Period. I'm like, can we have one? Can the women have one? Like,
they wouldn't have sat down to talk about anything.
I was like, can we have one for
We
us?
all know that. So I just feel like even as woke as Jada is, the patriarchy is still heavy upon her shoulders.
Facts.
I get it. Like it's in the public eye. There were so many memes.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
And there's literally nothing going on. So in the middle of a pandemic, it was like juicy as gist.
Yeah.
And I guess clear the air. But my own theory is never clear the air. Because you're just giving people more ammunition to say whatever they want.
Always resist the urge to shalaye because
Sophie's word.
Never. If someone
I
thinks,
don't need to explain
if
myself.
someone
Period.
thinks that you shot somebody and you killed the person, as long as there is proper concrete evidence that you did not shoot the person, let the whole world think you shot the person. See, and don't just say.
Even if you kill the person,
it never ends
or you
well.
kill the person, they'll still
It
talk.
never-
So why should you explain yourself? I learned that from you because I would come on social media and be like, oh, this thing you said about me before is not like that. But now I'm like, you know what? F you to the mother.
Do you know? Because
I tell my party. Period.
there's
That's not
nothing.
outside.
Do you know that the person that is saying that thing to you actually wants you to yarn?
facts.
Like I don't understand how you can constantly fall. You can't fall for that
Valerie
trap.
said, yeah, don't
You
kill
can't.
me.
You literally cannot fall for that trap because the people that honestly is a cheesy line, but the people that matter
Don't care.
and the people that care don't matter. Facts.
I feel like another thing that really irks me as a 2020 woman, yes, I said it, is just pretty much how when a woman would rather be with a wealthier man or a richer guy, she's just termed a gold digger.
Yeah.
Like, yes, some women have, let me just say real quick, some women have, every woman has her own preference. Some women are okay with paying the bills for their men. Mm-hmm. Some women would never do that. Mm-hmm. I understand such women. Some women would, it's a give and take situation. I get that too. Yeah. Some women would just be like, you know what, you're not paying anything, and just, foot the bills. Different types of women. How do you feel about it? Let me start with Valerie.
Me, I feel like you should. I always say, it's my mantra: do whatever you want to do.
Right.
But I just feel like what I have a problem with is I don't have any problem in a give and take scenario. I personally, my biggest love language is gift giving. It can be the most random thing. You can just say, oh, Valerie, take this key holder. And I would completely see you in a different light because it's even that you thought of me and you thought to get me. So I love gifts. Better even if it's a thoughtful gift.
I feel like for every woman, that is her love language.
No, not necessarily.
Because
this whole like paying of bills thing, I don't have a problem with it. If I have it, I would pay for it. If he has it, he'll pay for it. If we both have it, then whoever wants to pay for it should
or he'll pay for it again.
shit, half the time he pays.
Okay.
And there are lots of times where I pay for stuff and I ask him to give me back. I tell him he's owing me money, but like it just depends on what works for your relationship. My issue is where the woman in the relationship is footing the bills, and like she's trying to hide like it's the man that's footing.
Yeah, that girl, you're playing yourself. Nobody else.
You really are, because
girl.
You
The
don't
worst
use your money
thing
to buy him a car.
It's the worst
to
thing.
carry baby.
Or she'll gift herself something and be like, oh, my man got it for
Yes,
me.
that's
I feel like that is the
Relax.
most mental
That's the worst.
situation that we need to address.
That's the worst.
How do you feel?
Because first of all,
Tell us
before
how
I
you
get
really
to
feel,
that,
Coco.
like how I really feel. First of all, buying something and saying someone else did that for you, I love to take my glory,
Yes.
regardless, because I take the
You know what that
I
is?
take
You're
the shame.
secure in
You
yourself.
get what I'm saying? I take the pain, I take the shame, I will take the glory.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy even buy for me, I'm that kind of person that will say I bought it for myself, but I don't do that. I would rather not just post about it or talk about it. But people that will literally walk to a store, buy themselves stuff, so wrap it around and send to their house. I'm like, oh my God, baby, just did. Please, I feel like you need to see somebody. It's not normal. I think every woman should take glory for whatever they do.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the society makes us feel like we are powerless, women just take from men.
Or if you buy a big car, no
Yeah,
man
I
is
am
going to
so
marry
sick.
you.
I am so
Or you
sorry
can't
to
buy,
say.
even though you can afford a house, you can't buy a house yet.
I am sorry to say that whoever is gonna like you for who you are will like you, regardless of what you're driving or what you have.
Yeah.
And if a man really thinks he likes you and you have a big car already, we double standard.
Okay?
I used to say it, your gifts cannot.
He will step up.
There is no amount that is
He
too
will.
much for somebody to double up for you. As
Period,
So when
Pooh.
you're working, and I've been in a relationship of 50-50, it was actually a white guy. I've been in a relationship of I take, I don't give. I've been in a relationship whereby I try to buy one gift.
One gift like that.
That 50-50 situation is like, when I was dating the guy, what I do is if the thing is 1 million, I'll say it's 5 million. So at the end of the day, you give me 2.5 and say, it's like, he used to say in his voice, he would say, I can't do everything for you, Khloe. You need to step up to be a woman. You need to do this yourself. Actually, it made me who I am today because before I would think about a man, it's not like I don't like my money. I take it. I take it up. I will still know that I can afford it.
Yeah.
Just like Tori said, and people were shouting. He said, if you cannot afford a particular designer bag, I can't buy it for you. He's right. How will you be carrying a bag of 5 million when your account is 0?
Well, I agree with that. However,
You know what?
buy me that Birkin.
No, I know, not you. I'm just saying, you can afford it.
First of all,
Not a
what I
Birkin,
always
baby.
say-
No, I'm just saying that.
First of all,
you
what I
that want a
always
Becky
say
now,
is-
your mouth safe. Once the money reaches,
I put it out in the universe, and I know it's coming because I put it out.
I'm still, let people not get me wrong, I'm still on the side of be a baby girl. Do things for you. Sweet when people do things for you.
Yeah. It's a love
Especially
language,
when
and it's
they
okay.
do it. I will really appreciate a man that give me money for business than a man that give me money for a car.
Yeah, so
And you know me as my friend, Sophie. I will take the money for the car and I'll put it in my business.
Facts.
Before I do anything, I think about my workers, I think about my family, I think about my future. So why?
That's
all
the
those
woman in
things? Why people have
2020.
that mentality is because we don't take glory for what we do.
Yeah,
we
I
need
agree.
to start doing it. I saw a trend going on where they say black women should start appreciating themselves and something. And I saw
It
somebody
normalize black women,
normalize-
living in luxury
and I see somebody actually said, why would you say that is a low mentality? It's not a lie. Why will you buy something for yourself and let your man take glory of what you bought for yourself?
it's kind of like, you know, when I came to.
Do you know why
when I
they do
came to
that?
meet
Do you know
like,
why they do that? Do you know why they do
So
that?
that
Let
they
me just
think
find
he's
out
doing
this.
the work.
Let me just do this. Why they do that is because they don't want to be questioned how they got the money.
First of
Because
all,
they are- wait,
how I make my
they
money
are
is
efforts.
entirely
You know
my
that-
business. Let's start
Let me
there.
just say something. Like when I got to the hotel and
Yeah.
when I went to meet up with Sophie, we're dressing up, and she was like, you're looking like your wife." And I'm like, "Babe, I'm looking like myself, my G."
Right.
Because like
I did say that.
Right.
Before like I thought it in my head, and then we had a conversation after, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Babe, I have always looked like this. Like I wasn't like
She
picked
never
up
changed.
and- I wasn't like picked up and like, oh yeah, like okay,
She
or
just
dress a
changed,
certain
oh,
way,
one is now
or
showing
look a
the
certain
body.
way, or like
Or he cleaned her up.
like, you know, none of that. And I also pride my relationship is the way it is because my man brags about me all the
Always.
time. Like, so, like, he always talks about how for his birthday last year, I actually surprised. He didn't know that I surprised him with a trip to Accra, and he didn't know until we were pulling up. He didn't know where we were going. We just pulled up to the airport a week before his birthday. Yes, I know. I did that shit on my own. I literally paid for the entire thing myself, and he's always bragging about things like that because he is like, if you're doing these things, and that's how it's supposed to be. I brag about, for my birthday this year, he bought me furniture, and I was like, okay.
One thing I always say to my siblings, because I have cousins and I have like younger female siblings, is first things first, we're not our mothers, you know.
We can't make the same mistake.
We can't make the same.
We're not even allowed to.
You're not, so, you know, you're not allowed to make the same mistakes that our mothers made. You know, you hear things like, growing up, some people would have heard things like, I stayed because of my children.
Yeah.
You know, or I had it with your dad after a while, but I looked at you guys and I said, you know what, I cannot leave my children. How about you take your children and you bounce? Because, you know, it's better to be by yourself and be happy than to be with someone and be miserable.
One thing that parents don't know is that whatever happened in your house, in your society, have a huge influence on your kids.
Of course.
It affected me.
Of course.
Growing up.
Of course.
Because every day, every night, my parents are arguing about me or about something or about the school. And it got to a point of time that I started telling people that I don't have parents in school because I feel like I don't want to go. I'm not happy to go home most of the time. My mom was just there based on the fact that she said, I'm waiting because of you. My dad is a very sweet man, actually. But you know one thing that money does? When it leaves you, become somebody else entirely. He became a beast. And I could see beneath that he's not even happy being himself. Not because that he doesn't want to have a happy family, but because the money he had gone.
So he didn't know how to act.
A woman is about to step up now, and you know the way it is in the society.
His ego has to be bruised.
You get what I'm saying? So any small thing my mom does in the house is snapping. It's not, when I was young, I feel like it was wicked anyways. I don't like it. But now when I think about it, it's the fact that I just don't want it to feel like he's a loser. And it affects the kids.
It does. It does.
I have a short temper. Ask Sophie.
She does.
Yeah, I feel like there are also a lot of things. But what I've learned is that in really trying not to make the same mistakes my mom made, I ended up becoming a lot like my dad. And I had to understand that I actually had become like my dad, and love the parts that are good, and then just know that I have my own mistakes as well, right? So that's what I always say. I'll always give my dad credit for that. He has realized, my dad is 85, so he has realized that he's made a whole bunch of mistakes, and he's trying to, in his own way,
and it's so horrible. We should have done this earlier.
So now I love my
Because
dad
you guys,
so much.
there's really, as a parent,
say now that she feels like all our efforts is a waste because we talk more with my dad. Like now, any project I'm doing is my dad I'm calling. Anything, she not say, oh my God, all our efforts is in prayer. I tell you to stay at the first place.
as a parent, I can say for a fact that there's no handbook to parenting.
Yes,
we're all just winging it as we're going. So the first thing that happens to you, apart from maybe postpartum depression after you become a mom, is you start to put yourself in your parents' shoes, and you realize that this woman in most cases was not a beast or a witch or a wicked person. She just really loved me, and she's just fiercely protective of me, and I get it now. My respect for my mom grew after I became a mother. And I also want to say, before I lose my train of thought, that if you're in a marriage and you are unhappy, it's okay to leave. Because this is what I always say. I feel like 80% of married women today are single moms. They're single parents.
You know, you're not lying.
You know, you're pretty much raising your kids by yourself. I'm not a single parent, but what I'm trying to say is, I feel like I beat the system.
The funniest part is,
doing all your chores, you're doing it. It's kind of like when you're doing.
I think the most important thing in life, be it marriage or baby mama, as they call it, or side thing or whatever. Once there is a child, the only thing that matters is co-parenting, regardless, even if marriage.
Period.
Just make sure that as you're thinking about your next step, you already don't weigh and say you're picking the okay.
Period.
You cannot be fighting.
From what Coco just said, I want to say that it is okay to co-parent without being a bitter baby mama.
Yeah.
It is 1000% okay to co-parent and have the other parent in your life, even if you guys don't want to be together anymore. It's very okay.
It's okay.
Because if you don't do that, you're raising a human being who feels a void from that person, that parent that you are going out of your way to taunt with your child. Don't taunt your partner, because at the end of the day, listen, once you have a child with a person, even if it's multiple, if that's your partner when it comes to your child. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if either the man or the woman has multiple partners, life partners. Your own is you and this person are partners because you both have the same goal. And what is that goal? You want this person to be 100 times better than the two of you. You want to raise somebody who's a good human being, a sound human being, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who, even after you are gone, is still living right. You know what I mean? It's very possible to co-parent without being a bitter baby mama. And, don't let people put you in a box and make you feel small and say, oh, you're a baby mama. First of all, it's not an insult. Secondly, nobody will tell you this, but I will tell you, you beat the system. You beat the system. Period. Live your life, make your money, and all of that. I want to say a big thank you to my lovely friends for coming on this segment and being honest and talking that talk and just being real with us. I'm very grateful. Thank you. I appreciate you, my G. I appreciate you, my G. Thank you. I want to say here's to independent women who know what they're doing, who want to be happy and put themselves first. Cheers, ladies.
Oh my God, it's not that long.
Cheers, boo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share your views. We want to see, we want to hear, we want to carry on this conversation after this. Love you guys. See you again soon.